Good afternoon, everybody. It's Diana with stampingwithdie.com. And I apologize. I thought I made all the events for this week. But when I went to start the live, usually when you go to start the live, it will ask you, do you want to connect it to an event? And that didn't pop up. And I'm like, well, what the heck? And for some reason, I forgot to set the dies shorts for this week. Or it didn't take, or who knows what's going on. Could have been because I was half asleep when I set them up. I don't know. So there's no excuse. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes. I'm sorry if you. Hi, Lori. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to pop on and let Facebook tell you that I'm there. Let me make this thing be muted. Before I get started, let's see here. I want to make sure I'm even in the right spot. Oh, what is going on with me this week? Oh, okay. I'm in the right spot. It just took my computer a little bit to load. Okay. So I do apologize if that I didn't get that set up. So I'm going to show you. I showed the other day the cute little mini jam jars, and I decorated it with the strawberry. I'll show you better when I flip the camera. But I came up with a super cute one. So remember, I was showing you with the candle. So I got that made, and it is adorable. So you might want to grab some of the jam jars so that you can make them. Even if you didn't put the candle in it, it would make a cute little giveaway, you know, if you have anybody over, birthday party, a picnic, whatever, a wedding. I kept it kind of not event, what's the word, specific. It's not event specific that I did. But it just kind of gives you the idea. So anyways, all right. So I am going to flip the camera, and then I will just hope that that Facebook will do its job and tell you that, hey, Diana is live. So again, I apologize that I thought I made the event and I didn't. All right, so let me flip the camera and we will get started. And then, of course, by the time I realized I hadn't, it was like 1 minute to 2. So I'm like, well, that doesn't give me time to even make the event, because it doesn't actually go out right away. So anyways, okay. So let me go over a little bit of business beforehand. And this is the dies shorts. So usually they go a little longer, but I'll try to not to be too blabby and make it long. All right, so this is the Hostess Code for May. So please make sure you use that if you're placing an order. If you're ordering under 150, hi Jeannie. If you're ordering under 150 before tax and shipping, use that code. If you are not, if you're ordering more, then don't use the code, and then you'll get Hostess benefits. If you are ordering 150, I know you've heard me talk about this already, you are going to want to think about, sorry Jackie, I totally, I thought I made my events up this week, but apparently I didn't, or I did it wrong. So surprise, here we are. But anyways, okay, so if you want to join my team, now is a great time. I'm enjoying welcoming a bunch of new demonstrators. And you can actually get your choice of $155 worth of stuff, plus tax. Stampin' Up! Pays the shipping on the starter kit, and you only pay $99 in tax. So it is a super good deal. So definitely think of that. That only runs till the end of May. So you want to make sure you sit down with the catalog, get your wish list out, and you'll be amazed how quick that does tally up. And then you can start earning getting the demonstrator discount every time you order. Hi, Nancy. Okay, so I showed you the cute little mini jam jar the other day. It's still filled with the M&Ms. I have not eaten any of them. That's because I keep eating all the macadamia, chocolate-colored macadamia thingies that we brought back. Oh my gosh. I said I was going to go on a diet. I guess I have to wait till I have all the good stuff eaten out of the house. So, and then I showed you what I was going to do. I wanted to do something with a candle. So here's another little jar. But what I had showed you the other day was using the doilies. So remember, I had two little doilies cut in half. These are the little square ones. But I kind of was a little anal in regards to when you put the doilies in. So when you put the doilies in, and you kind of scoot them together like that. If you flip it, there's a little bit of a naked area. And it's not totally noticeable, but I wanted to see if I could do something different so that we didn't have that naked area. So let me pull those out of there. So what I was doing last night when I couldn't sleep, I was going through my mind, and I was like, well, what can I use instead? So I thought, well, I just need to get my vellum. So the vellum is cut at, where's my little thingy? All right, so what I ended up using was this. So I'm like, I need a die that will cut basically kind of like doily. So I have the potted succulents. Now we have another die in the catalog. Let me get my catalog out. And I noticed that this morning, and of course I don't have it, so I couldn't see if that one would work. But the succulents did. So let me find the one that's in the catalog. All right, so there's also a new one called Flower Market. So I need to get that one because it looks very similar to the succulent one, and then you would have flower holes. So I need to make sure I order that. So I ended up using the potted succulents instead. So let me show you my piece of vellum. So here's my piece of vellum, and it is cut out. Oh, okay, here's the one that I was going to show you for the measurement. So this is when you put the die on one time. So this is how I did it. So you put the die on one time. Let me get a piece of paper. Maybe you can see it better if there was paper. Can you see it a little better? Who knows? All right. So this is the die on one time. And then what I did was I ran it again. So then I put the die here, and then I ran it again, and I put the die here, and then that made me this. So then my whole piece was the right length for my little mini jam jar. So we're making a little jam jar, and then what do you have? Oh my gosh, I should have wrote it down. What is it? Luminary. So we're making a mini jam jar luminary is what I'm calling them. So now you have your succulent, and it's cut out all the way around. I don't mind these marks compared to how there was the space, right? All right, and then the measurement is, so you're going to need a piece of vellum. And this is 6 5/8 by 1 3/4. Okay, so 6 5/8 by 1 3/4. That's the size of vellum that you will need. And then you're just going to zip that through. Now what I did have to do is I did have to go zip it, and I zipped it through a couple times for the die to cut through the vellum, only because the vellum, and it's so intricate, I found that I got a better cut if I went through, like I let it go through 3 times than just one, because I think the vellum's just a little thicker than cardstock, and it's not plastic, but I think it just gave that extra little cut. All right, so I used the potted succulents. I also used my layering circles. And I'm also using the Simply Succulents stamp set. So that's what I'm using on my cute little luminary. All right, so let's put that over there. I also am using some DSP. So we have, this is some of the new DSP. I know, right? Because I'm using that special ruler you told me about, Jackie. Or I would be saying, what is that? 6 1/2 plus a dit. All right, so Bloom Where You're Planted DSP. So I'm going to be using that. And I'm going to be using the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. And I'm also using the Hostess pack of paper. So like I told you the other day, probably every other card or project is going to be using the Pattern Party 12 by 12 DSP. All right, so let me get this off of here. So what I did ahead of time is I cut out my little pieces. So here's my little pieces. So this is what I use the DSP for. So this is trees, but it's just beautiful design. And then this, so this is, see, it's that tree paper, the beauty paper. And this is the plant, Bloom Where You're Planted. Look what's behind there. But I wanted this side because to me it looked like it was like tile. You know, almost like Sotia tile. So I just stamped the kind people are my kind of people. So then this is just going to get stuck on to here because I just wanted to have a little bit of texture to it. And that goes with this as well. So this is the couple of the little dies that came from the succulent. So when you have something fun and you wanted to add a little pizzazz to it, just use some of your designer series paper. So this actually came out of this. So this is again from that beauty paper, but here it's just a beautiful piece of cacti, right? And then this comes from that DSP from the Hostess, that Pattern Party. But I just wanted to have a little bit of something going on, and you would never know by looking at that it was actually this fun pink leopard print. It just gave my little succulent-y thing some extra texture. All right, and then what I also did was I stamped my little cactus, my little hens and chickens, I'm calling them. I don't know if that's what they are, but I colored my little hens and chickens. I stamped them with the memento because I'm going to color them with the blends. So let me get started with those. So we have some new blend colors that I'm going to be using, and that is the soft succulent, the fresh freesia. I'm also going to be using some mint macaron, some Highland heather, and some mossy meadow. Now you're probably going, good grief, look at those little flowers and she's using all those colors. Well, yes, I am. All right, so I'm just going to, this is just a dark, soft succulent. So I'm just putting a little bit on there. So I guess the diet will start after I eat all this good stuff we brought back. We gave some to the neighbors, but we still have some. Okay, this one's going to be the other color because I'm going to have my hens and chickens be two different colors. And then this is, make sure I grab the right one. Yes, the light soft succulent. So this is one of the new in colors, and they have their own Stampin' blends. So that has me super excited. So what is your favorite thing out of the catalog? What could you hardly wait to order? I know as demonstrators, we always get to pre-order. Another little perk of being a demonstrator, there's certain things we can pre-order early. But there's always other things. So this is the like the light mossy. So it's just adding a slightly different little green color to my hens and chickens. But I know for me it was that Expressions in Ink. I could not wait to get that ordered. So I might have to do that as a class. I also have a class coming up with the sweet strawberry. So you're going to want to make sure you, so see, there's that little guy done. The sweet strawberry bundle, because it is back now. And I'm also going to be including the berry set and the berry paper. So you'll see more information on that. But just make sure you get my newsletter. Okay, so this one is going to be the Dark Fresh Freesia. Hi, Bonnie. I'm sorry, because I totally spaced it and didn't make my event ahead of time. I probably should just do it for the whole month, but sometimes things happen, right? And I'm like, oh, I hate to change it if it's already made, but I could have swore Tuesday morning I sat here and made the events for every day, but who knows. Okay, so this was the Fresh Freesia. That was the dark, and now I'm going to go back with the light, and I am leaving a little bit of white areas around the edge, so it's not all the way colored in. But these little jam jars are so cute, and I think, and they're so inexpensive, and you could just keep them on hand and fill them with whatever you want, whether it be jam or store-bought jam, the M&Ms, because they are food grade. All right, so now this is the dark Highland Heather. So now I'm just putting that Highland Heather into the nooks and crannies, and I love that this just makes those dark edges pop. So don't think you can just stick with, you know, the one color. Play around with your blends and mix and match them. All right, so then I'm just going to take the light and just soften the edge just a tad. I mean, it's a succulent. If you look on the computer, if you like Google, oh, I forgot that one. If you Google, you know, hens and chickens or succulents or whatever, you'd be amazed at the color that cactuses are. And I looked out a little bit ago, and our neighbor that moved gave us a hydrangea. So I showed a picture of it the other day. And I looked out a little bit ago, and one of the ground squirrels is eating it. I'm like, really? Hi, Virginia. Okay, so here I have my little jar. So now what I'm going to do is, here's my piece of vellum that I have die cut out with that cute little succulent die, and that's going to go in here. So just be gentle, because it is delicate, right? Because you've got all those holes in it. Let me squish it a little bit more so it folds in there. All right, then you just got to get your fingers in there and unlatch it, because it's going to want to kind of hook together. So I want to unwind it from each other. Let's see. I need to bring it a little closer. Hold on a minute. So I'm just getting it to be unhooked from each other. All right. So there we go. So I've got it all unhooked. So now you don't have a naked spot. So see that? Now it's got all the way around. You have that pretty, pretty vellum. Then we're going to take our lid. Now I want to decorate my lid. So let me get these off of here. I think it might be a little easier if you don't have that notepad. All right. So I'm going to take some tear and tape or whatever it's called, and I'm going to put this on my lid. So I have my tear tape, and I'm just going to put it on my lid, because I don't want a naked lid on this one, because this one is going to go on a table, or I'm going to hand it out at a wedding or a party. So I want it to be a little more fancier than maybe the candy one, right? Because the candy one is fun. So not that you couldn't decorate the side of the candy one, but this one I want it to be just a little more fancier. So I'm just giving it, I'm just kind of burnishing it along so that it's sticking really good. Then we need to find the edge. And then we're going to peel that. I want it to stick to the lid. Come on, baby. I'm going to have to use my scissors. I have no fingernails. All right, hang on a minute. There we go. So I'm just peeling my tear tape. And then this is some of this new gorgeous ribbon. So this is Evening Evergreen. Look how beautiful this ribbon is. It is gorgeous. It's got almost like a chevron and it's kind of raised. It's beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I want to put that around my lid. So I'm just putting it on here and I'm just pulling it along so it rests along the bottom, because I still kind of like to see that little edge on the top. Plus, if you follow the bottom, you're pretty much going to be straight. Then if you try to just put it in the center, I know I would have it all crooked. So if I just make it be along the bottom, then I know it's going to be straight. And then, here's my scissors. I want to cut it with that same angle. So I'm just going to cut it at an angle like that. All right. And if it's too much, so see, now that the spool's gone, I can see it better. So I have just a little bit too much, so I'm going to trim that again. All right, so now we have that. And then I have little pieces of ribbon everywhere. And then I'm going to tie a bow. So I'm going to tie a bow right from the spool, so I'm not wasting any ribbon. So I'm just going to, like I'm tying my shoes, and this ribbon ties amazingly too. So I'm just tying a bow. Just fiddle fart with your ears till you get them the size you want. That looks good. Trim my tail, and see, I barely wasted any ribbon. I'm wasting just that tad right here. But if I'd have cut a big hunk of it and then tied, it's very wasteful. Now, if you're doing a class, it's a little harder because you do want to give somebody a big enough piece that they can tie, unless you're tying the bows for them. All right, let me get my glue dots. So then I'm going to take my glue dot. I'm going to put a glue dot here. Now you could also hot glue if you think people are going to be rough with it. You could hot glue it as well, but I'm just using the glue dots. So I put a glue dot on the center and then on each kind of the bows, just to kind of keep them to be flattish. So then this is going to go right on that center where those two pieces met. And then I'll just tack that and tack that, and then I just kind of push up there and push up there, and now you have your cute little bow like that. All right, then we need to put our lid on. All right, so we have our cute little lid. Now I do need to trim this down because it's a little bit too big, so let me put this on the lid and we will decorate it on the lid itself. Now I'm going to turn my thing over to the side a little bit. I mean, you could go like this if you wanted, but I kind of wanted it just to be on this side. It's totally up to you. And then I still need to trim my tail just a tad. All right, so now we're going to decorate the top of our thing. So I do need to make this a little shorter. So I'm just going to trim my succulent, put a little glue dot. Hi Marcy, I hope you're feeling better. All right, so we have our little succulent, so he's gonna go right here. And then I also, let me scoot down a little bit, I also am going to trim these because I want to kind of control where these go. So I'm simply gonna cut off the bottoms, plus then they fit on the glue dot a lot better because you've got this nice round bottom instead of like the pointy. So I'm just sticking that right on the glue dot, and then I can put them, I kind of have just a little bit more control where they are. So I want that in the center here, and then the other one I kind of want it to be like this. So I want it to be kind of a rebel, right? It's off to the side just a little bit. Then I'm going to take our little flowers. I'm going to put the green one on the bottom, and I love the purple one, so I'm going to put that one on the top. So I'm just going to put a whole bunch of glue dots. I'm basically just putting glue dots, glue dots, glue dots all over the back. I'm not even paying attention to where they go. I'm just spinning it and adding a bunch. Because the glue dots you can't see through. So you could put dimensionals, but then I don't want them to be seen. So this is still going to give me some height because there's a few stacked, but there's not an obvious dimensional, you know, going to be viewed from the side. All right, so then the same thing, I'm going to do the same thing with my little freesia. I'm just turning and spinning a whole bunch of times. Like that. Come on, baby, get off of there. Okay. And then that's gonna go here. So now we have this pretty. Now, if you wanted, you could add some bling. So let me see. I didn't add bling on the other one, but let's see what I could do. Let's see what I have in my stash. Let's see over here. I think this might look cute. All right, so these are just the basic pearls. So I'm gonna grab one of the little baby ones, and I'm gonna put it in the center of the little hens and chicken. Isn't that cute? I might add it to the other ones. So there you go. So there you have your little lid. So let me get my little candle, and I keep putting the candle. Oh, here it is, right in front of my face. All right, so then we're gonna stick that in there. So we have our cute little candle there. Then we're just gonna spin that on. But look how pretty that is. Wouldn't that be adorable if you had like a wedding? Now here's the other one. So this is the one I did earlier. I always do two. Well, sometimes I do more when I boo-boo. But, so see, I might add those little pearls because those are super cute. But let me go turn the lights out. So hold on so you can see how cool they are. So I'm going to go run around, turn the lights out in the dark. Don't be scared. Turn the lights out. Hold on. It doesn't go all the way dark, but I think you'll be able to see. Hang on a minute. Oh, you can kind of see. All right, so let me spin. All right. So isn't that so pretty? So you can see the vellum all the way around. But wouldn't they look adorable on a table? I think they totally would look adorable on a table. Okay, let me turn my light on. Hold on. I'm back. Right, but anyways, I just love how they turned out. Oh my gosh, I just love it. So you really have to turn the light out to see how pretty they are, because they do, I mean, they look pretty, you know, even without the candle. But I love thinking about different ways to use things. And you can pick up those little candles, you know, usually relatively inexpensively. But anyways, so I think that's all I wanted to share today. So hopefully you'll think about the jam jars differently, right? And I hope if you do make them and you give them away, that people will love them, and then it will remind them of your event or whatever. But so definitely think about it. And if you have that flower die that I showed you, and you try it with that, let me know if it works. and I'll have it on my order too, but anyways, all right, so have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday for my Mimeograph Monday, and that is at 11 o'clock Arizona time, and that is on my YouTube channel, and I promise to set my events up. Crazy girl. But, so have a good weekend, and I will see you Monday. If there's anything you want me to show for the Mimeograph Monday, make sure you let me know by Sunday or earlier, right? Or earlier. Or I just pick what I want to do. All right, have a good weekend, everyone. And oh, it's a long weekend, but I'll still be coming on Monday to stamp for you. All right, have a good weekend, everyone. Bye for now.